Hello, Soul Tribe, friends and family. Now, I am Jocelyn, 144 Blue Rose Temple, and I'm here for a message on the Blue Rose today. If you clicked on this video, it either intrigued you by the title or you saw that blue rose and there was some sort of remembrance. What is that blue rose? Now, the world's never really seen the blue rose. Now, blue rose actually comes from the planet of Venus. And even as a rose priestess, I remember 3 years ago asking, it was maybe like 2 to 3 years ago, asking different rose priestesses, what's this blue rose? It's just coming and it's pouring in, and I'm having all these dreams and visions of here it goes, and all like just throwing roses, but they're all blue. What is this? And most people actually could not answer my question. I went on YouTube. There's not a whole lot there either. You went on Google. You go on Google, there's not a lot there either. And one thing about the blue rose, which there is information on the blue rose, but very little. A lot of it remains a mystery until today, because these great mysteries are being remembered within us all. The great mystery that connects us all is being remembered within us all. Now, the order of the blue rose, I did pull some cards that I'm going to show you, but the order of the blue rose resonates with the energies of Mother Mary, of Sarah, which in some texts, they say that Sarah La Kali, who trained in the temples of Isis and the temple of Kali Ma, she is the daughter of Yeshua and of Mary Magdalene. And so she had inherited Mary Magdalene's wisdom along with Yeshua's healing gifts. And she practiced in secret, bridging both paganism and Christianity together in secret. And that in itself is also a mystery. We have Mary Magdalene as well, which her voice is being, her story is your story. That's what's coming through, is her story is your story. Mother Mary, Aphrodite, Demeter, all of these energies, all of these goddess, mother, and sacred feminine energies are holders of the blue rose. Now we talk about this great mystery, right? What is the blue rose? There is not much out there, but it's being remembered and it's being anchored. And the same thing goes along with the feminine Christ, because that truly is the path of the order of the blue rose, are those who are devoted to a path of the awakened heart, the truly awakened heart. Now, as of last year, December 2022, we were anchoring and grounding these blue rose codes, blue rose diamond codes in our ley lines and crystal grid systems. We're seeing a lot of those codes that have been anchoring. We're seeing a lot of that now, and they are still anchoring. It is a year later, and that is why this energy is coming up again. Now, what is the order of the blue rose? Before I go there, I did grab some cards. We have Persephone, New Beginnings, Isis, Sacred Contracts, Past Life, Present Power, the many spiritual faces of you. That's why, being remembered. The goddess calls in a song. In the book of Revelations, it talks about the sound of the harp that only the 144,000 hear. 333, as soon as I say that, the inner call from source, from God, from goddess, that's going to be an inner call, which it says here. Inner call, soul-led, the mystic, living courageously. Okay, right over here we have Lineage of the Rose, moved by the goddess, here for this soul call and gather. The Rose Garden, innocence, forgiveness, and be gentle with yourself. And then the final card is you are a healer. Now, holders of the blue rose, this is not an easy path. It's not an easy path, but it is all that you know. You just know it. You feel it. The path of the blue rose are those who are truly ready to live in the embodiment of the heart of Christ. The truly awakened heart. They have advanced knowledge of the heart space. Again, this blue rose comes from Venus. And so the remembrance through us all of this blue rose is coming from Venus to planet Earth. Why? And before I even go there, why is the blue rose awakening right now in this world through us all? We need the truly awakened heart. And again, this is advanced knowledge. Holders of the blue rose It's what we haven't seen before. This is a new consciousness, and that's exactly what the blue rose represents, is new consciousness birthing and earthing, and therefore embodying. Now, the Order of the Blue Rose is the ancient path of the feminine Christ, the counterpart of Christ. Again, Mother Mary. We only know about Mother Mary's relationship as Yeshua's mother. What about everything that she went through? She was a priestess. She was a priestess, and she was a shadow worker. What about Mary Magdalene? They only show her on the Last Supper. What about her story? What about Sarah Lakali? What about this great mystery that remains a mystery until now? That this truth is awakening within us all. Now, again, when it comes to the Order of the Blue Rose, many of the gifts that come along with the Order of the Blue Rose is prophecy, song, dance, and healing. The Order of the Blue Rose, they have a great understanding of the heart space beyond the third and the fourth dimension. So they understand the heart space way beyond the third and the fourth dimension. And so it's a very high vibrational love that Earth hasn't seen. And why is it anchoring now? Prophecy. Prophecy. In this, we are in Kali Yuga. Okay, we are in Kali Yuga. And programs without of us, right? The world, within ourselves, there is this sacred destruction, which is creation. It is a sacred force, but destructive of the old programs, of the old paradigms within us, without of us. Pluto, I talked about Pluto in going into Aquarius in February, that something was going to happen with the government. In order for us to continue creating this new reality, right? We create it through ourselves. That's that you create it through yourself and your living embodiment, which is what the Blue Rose is, living embodiment of what it is that you say or do, living it. And right now, right, there is this Blue Rose activation, because I'm a mother, and to be in this world at this time, as a highly sensitive as well, no one wants to talk about certain things. People want to look away of what's going on, of what's happening without of us. When was the last effing time that we witnessed a genocide live? Live. And the rage, the this, the that, the all of the lower vibrations, right? Or what's coming to mind also right now is Isis and the 7 scorpions. With all of those lower energies, right? How can one even just navigate in this world? How can one move forward? How can one look at that? What we're being asked right now, because this is mirroring without of us, within us. Everything in this prophecy, everything mirrored without is going on when it comes to consciousness. This is all a divine mirror on consciousness and the evolution of consciousness. We cannot remain the same, and our consciousness cannot remain the same in this world in the way that things are. We're being asked, and I've been experiencing this too, of just ripped apart. Like the Blue Rose, again, it's advanced knowledge of the heart space, which many of these energies that I've described, their heart spaces were ripped apart and open, and that is kind of what we're being asked to do. Can we expand beyond what we know or think our limitation is of pain, of this, of that? I know for me, it's been very difficult for me as well. I've been going through my own initiations. Everyone's going through their own initiations into higher consciousness. We talk about unconditional love. And I did have one experience where I had crossed the threshold and had experienced what was the realm of pure, just unconditional love in heaven. And that No matter what anyone says, no matter what I say, that is so infinite. It is so infinite. And we are students of the universe, and we're going to continue learning and learning and learning and learning and learning and unlearning. And creating heaven on earth, right? Creating this new reality requires us to open our hearts to love in ways of which we never really thought that we could before. Of looking in the mirror and like, what do you mean I have to love that reflection? I have to bring awareness. I have to bring it, like, all of that. We're being asked to do that in ways that we've never been asked before. Now, the blue rose, the order of the blue rose, it also represents that alignment of the heart and of the throat. Okay, the heart and of the throat, speaking your divine truth. And I got a confirmation as soon as I thought something, and her name is Blue Eyed. So blue. What's also coming through is there's just so many shifts and changes. Feel free to become a channel member where I talk a little bit about the collective shifts and changes and a little bit about the prophecy as well. Sing your song, dance your dance, use your voice, speak, live in your authentic blueprint. How courageous and how daring it is to live in your authentic blueprint in a world that is truly designed. Honestly, they'll say it's designed for you to forget. However, I really think that it's designed for you to remember. You're placed in this thing that clearly doesn't fit. And so through all these reflections, you're just remembering who you are, unpeeling the onion layers of everything it is that you haven't, that you never were, and that you were taught, or, these programs that they instill upon us. We are attuning to a new consciousness and to a new vibration in this world and in this realm. And the blue rose does want to be remembered. It is very here. Again, December 2022, this time last year, there was a big blue rose activation. And this energy is arising again. It is arising within us all. It's a blue rose that just opens in our heart space to be remembered, lived, and embodied. Again, this is not the easy path. A lot of times, people who take the path of the blue rose, not even take the path. This is a path that you remember. It's not a path that you necessarily choose, because it's not easy to be unconditional love with reflections that don't make you want to feel that way or do this or that. It truly asks us to understand unconditional love in a way that's very advanced and beyond the ego and this realm even, because that blue rose does not come from Earth. That blue rose comes from Venus. This love is out of this world. You gotta be to exist and to continue and to remain anchored in your joy and in your love and in your authentic truth. You got to. And so one other thing about the blue rose too, why I say that it's not easy, the blue rose can grow in the dark. The blue rose can grow in many different conditions, similar to the lotus. It grows out of mud, right? And it creates something very beautiful. Mother Mary did not have an easy path. Sarah Lakali, the daughter of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, did not have an easy path. There's not a lot on her, but what you can find on her, it was not easy. Mary Magdalene, not an easy path. And there's a lot of different energies as well. But with the Order of the Blue Rose, it truly reminds us as to what the Sacred Heart of Christ, as a feminine counterpart, the bride, she is the bride. She is the bride of Christ. And it reminds us of that unconditional love. An embodiment of it and your soul gifts. Now, on Venus, the Order of the Blue Rose, they were very advanced in healing, especially with things like sound and Reiki, and crystals as well. Advanced technology in using crystals. And I always find it a little bit similar to the Arcturus energy, actually, like Arcturus, so Arcturians. I find it a little bit similar, where they really operate from that blue ray of light, that blue ray energy. They operate from fifth dimensional and on unconditional love, and all using their soul gifts together, So Arcturus is just coming through in this message as well, when it comes to your journey and you owning your authentic soul gifts and path. And this is what we are creating. We are creating a world that is safe for the shadow to transmute and come to light. We are creating a world that it is safe to stand in your authentic truth. We are creating a world where you will not be persecuted for your spiritual gifts. We are creating a world where we choose the path of unconditional love. We're not unconditional tolerance, because that love and light, that there's a difference. There is a difference. But unconditional love in ways that force us to expand our hearts, the ways of which we thought that we could love, and expanding even above and beyond that, expanding our consciousness above and beyond what we've always known. And that's what the Order of the Blue Rose asks of us. Now, for people who have the remembrance of, I just feel like I was a priest or priestess, because there was also males. Okay, there were also males in the Order of the Blue Rose. There's also just Rose brothers, okay? Rose brothers. There are some Rose brothers out there. These priests and priestesses of Venus, of the Blue Rose, they often just knew of the path it is that they had chosen. And so sometimes these priests and priestesses, you'll see in your life that life has really awakened that heart of yours in different ways through different initiations. Now, if we remain in victim consciousness, why is this happening to me? This or that, blah, blah, blah. Everything that we go through, every initiation is to awaken us to higher consciousness. And when we come out of victim consciousness, we can see it just as that. And we can be very thankful and grateful for those lessons and for those teachings. We are all students of Source, of God, of this universe, infinitely learning. And so the Blue Rose comes into your life to remind you, one, of who you are, Two, that heart of yours is infinite. And it asks you to view unconditional love and in such a way that is, again, beyond what you would know, because this Blue Rose is not third and fourth dimensional. It's not. It's beyond what we know. It's beyond what we've always known. But it asks us to rise higher. It asks us to heal. And it asks us to own our spiritual gifts and to share this. Okay? You are a healer. You are, especially, the Order of the Blue Rose, very specifically, like if you are extrasensory perception, if you, again, a lot of the prophecy, a lot of sound, a lot of dance, sound healers, dancers, what's also coming through is Reiki, specifically, and crystals, and all of those different things, which, again, that's very similar to Arcturus. So Arcturus is just wanting to kind of come into this message too. It's a lot of blue energy, which Arcturians are blue. The Blue Rose asks you to remember who you are and to embody that on earth. Embody that in your life. This is the embodiment of the path of Christ, which is just embodying the heart of Christ. And that is infinite. It's like when we think that we're going to reach our limit, I'm unconditional love. Oh, yeah. Initiation, where life will test you. And you will pass with flying colors. It asks you to rise in consciousness. And one thing about the priests and priestesses of the Blue Rose is they understood that. So, when it came to these different initiations of the heart space and this and that, well, this is a divine service. A divine service. And it's not easy, again. But when you are a priest or priestess of the Blue Rose, you just can't help but know that this is the path. This is the path. of unconditional love. And I'm not going to be that person that's just like love and light, and it's not unconditional tolerance. But it is unconditional love, because a part of unconditional love is loving yourself. And so loving yourself comes with the boundaries and things like that. Okay, Lightworkers Collective, purging out the martyrdom, because that is what we're doing at this time too. So I encourage you, I'm going to grab one final message. But with this message, how is the blue rose showing up in your life? Is the blue rose showing up in your life anyway? Are you seeing blue? Are you seeing quite literally blue roses? Is it maybe in dreams and visions, or is it just something that's felt? That is the goddess that is calling you. Okay, inner call, soul led the mystic, living courageously, the rose thread. And we did have the card past life, present power. Okay, a lot of the collective as well right now, remembering, activating past life gifts, things you've always done, things you've always been good at. And also what comes to mind right now is those dreams, those things as a child, those visions, those were the most pure. And so remember those too. I'm going to grab just a final message closing this out. We had a bunch of crystals just fall out too. All right, Divine Mother and Father, blue rose. What do we have as a message, as a final closing message for the collective today? You have High Priestess. You also have Osiris on the bottom of the deck, all right? High Priestess, Osiris. What else do we have for this message? Earth magic and share your gifts, okay? Share your gifts, earth magic. I'm going to get a final message too. All right, what's a final message for? You have the pathway, direction, purpose, change, magical tools, writing, start crafting, and the dolphin collar, pure joyful friendships. Okay, when it comes to the energy in the collective right now, it's redirection. Eclipse season in general will kind of force us, to a lot of fated events that we will release just what no longer serves us so that we can move forward to our authentic path and truth, okay? The pathway right over here. And then you do have insight, okay? For some of you, I do see you studying as well. This is a lot of Merlin, though, energy too, okay? You could resonate with Merlin. Merlin or Melchizedek is what's coming through here. Melchizedek and Merlin. All right? So are you a priest or priestess? Now, in the month of January, I do have the Diamond Temple. And this is going to be a sacred space for 4 people. It's going to be one-on-one, but there are only 4 people at a time who are truly ready to dive deep into their spiritual gifts, into their sacred remembrance, and their life purpose. Now, you can book already on the website, 144bluerosetemple.com. Again, it is for January, but there's only 4 spots that I will be taking at a time. So if you're looking to have some just support, email me with any questions at all it is that you have. I have a mentor. Other people have mentors, but I will always, always, always remind you that your power is within. This remembrance is within. Everyone else can only activate or reflect, but the goddess speaks directly to you and through you. And there's a song that sings in your heart space. And that is what truly, truly shows you the path. But if you would like any assistance during that, again, that Diamond Temple is going to be a multidimensional healing space. We talk about activating gifts. The way that we activate gifts is by clearing the lower chakras, so that third eye opens, so that that heart, that throat, all of that is aligned and opened. And so in this 7-week space, we are going to be doing some multidimensional healing. We're going to be clearing out what needs to be cleared out or what needs to be revoked in the Akashic records, come to deeper understandings, and build up the confidence and the courage and the ferocious passion to live in your authentic truth. That's what I have for you. I hope that this resonates. If you're watching this, you may just be in order of the blue rose. Sending you all so much love and so many blessings.